Well, we're absolutely thrilled with our brand new rods here at Missing at Sea that we've just launched, and today I wanted to talk to you about the various models. Now when it comes to estuary fishing, you're really going to want to look at our 2 to 6 and our 4 to 8 spin rods. This is your finesse estuary style fishing, so you'll be using your 2 to 6 matched with something like a 1000. You can go up to say a 2500 spin reel. We're normally running as light as 4 pound up to 6 to 8 pound. We're using that lighter rod for chasing your topwater whiting, brim, that kind of thing, your bass, and then you shift up to the 4 to 8 and probably match it with a 2500 spin reel, and that's kind of more so for your larger size bass, flatties, that kind of thing. Look, when we're estuary fishing, we actually take both. We have the 2 to 6 pound as our lighter setup, and then the 4 to 8 pound as our slightly heavier setup. Now in my right hand here, I've got the 2 to 6, and in my left hand I have the 4 to 8. Now they're very similar. They're both 7 foot in length, running the same guide configurations, all the top Fuji componentry, single piece grips, which we absolutely love. Look, you're gonna wanna use the 2 to 6. It's slightly softer in the tip. It's got a bit more action, so better for working those kind of top water lures and chasing those smaller fish. And then the 4 to 8 is slightly stiffer blank, but again, same componentry, same length, same setup. At the day, what it comes down to is personal preference. Our 2 to 6 pound is our ultra light setup, and then our 4 to 8 pound is our light setup. Now these are our two heaviest spin models. We've got our 12 to 20 here and our 15 to 25. Now this is a 7 foot model, the 12 to 20, and our 15 to 25 is 7 foot 2. And you'll notice it's got slightly larger guides. It's obviously slightly longer, being 7 foot 2. And really we're taking both of these out on most fishing expeditions. So if we're chasing snapper, we're running a lighter setup on the 7 foot and probably a heavier setup on our 7 foot 2. On our 7 foot model here, we're running usually about 3,000 or 4,000 size spin reels. And on the heavier setup, 4,000 to 5,000 spin reels. Look, they're great rods for your snapper fishing, barra fishing, if you like chasing jacks on spin. We've been using these up in the Channel at North Queensland, chasing big nannies and all that kind of stuff. And the blanks are insane. Again, we're running the Toray Japanese carbon blanks across all of our rods and the top Fuji componentry. Again, single piece grips, and we've made these grips long enough so that when you're fighting fish, you can have them under your arm. And we've got the nice EVA 4 grips here. The action on these rods is amazing, super fast action, but you can still work those plastics and vibes really, really well. So when it comes down to it, if you're snapper fishing, your 7 foot here, this is the slightly lighter model, that's the 12 to 20, and then our 7 foot 2 here is the 15 to 25 pound. Snapper fishing on plastics in shallow water, snapper fishing in heavier water. If you're going to be chasing dollies, long-tailed tuna, that kind of thing, being 7 foot 2, you're going to get that longer distance when it comes to casting. Again, we have the luxury of taking both rods out on our adventures. Now probably my personal favourite, our overhead jigging rod. It's 6'7" in length. It's PE rating of 1.5 to 3, and we worked on this blank a number of times to get it right. You'll notice we're running quite a number of guides, and that's to really avoid a line kiss when this thing's buckled over. Amazing rod, so much fun, and perfect for a wide variety of jigging applications, whether you're south or north. We've tested on snapper, kingfish, and then further north on your nanagai, your trout, that kind of thing. Really fun rod to use. We're normally matching it with something like a Tranx 300, but it's up to you. The longer butt is great to fight fish under your arm. We're running all the Fuji componentry, again, the Japanese Toray carbon blanks, which you cannot beat. Now if you're chasing jacks or barramundi, this is the rod you want in your arsenal. This is our bait caster, and it's a 12 to 20 pound rod, and it is 6'9" in length, an absolute weapon of a stick. The blank that we've run in this is super fast action, so if you're fishing those tight snags and you hook a good fish, you can load it up and really kind of rip them out of there. Again, we're running a single piece grip, which we much prefer when it comes to bait casters. Fuji componentry, really nice action in this rod. We're running a number of guides again, so you're not getting any line kiss when you're buckled over. We've tested this on barra, jacks, we've even used it up in the reef to pull trout out of the reefs. Amazing rod, amazing blank. If you have any questions on our rods, feel free to shoot us a message through Instagram, Facebook, or email.